Hello and welcome to my channel and to this morning yoga class. These are just a few postures that I like to do first thing in the morning just to help the body come to life in a relatively gentle fashion. So we are going to begin today on our mat in a kneeling position if that is accessible to you, otherwise any comfortable seated position. Just resting your hands in your lap, rolling your shoulders back and down, maybe even closing down your eyelids just for a minute or two to bring yourself into your little space this morning. Just taking this time to really notice how your body is feeling and moving. Maybe noticing how the thoughts are flowing through your mind and how the breath is flowing through your body. And as we begin to move through our postures this morning, seeing if you can allow your breath to guide your movement. Okay, let's begin to open the eyes, bringing the hands behind the back to begin with, interlacing the fingers. We're going to draw our shoulder blades together behind us, opening out through the front of your body, maybe even lifting your gaze towards the ceiling as you draw your arms a little distance away from the back of your body. And again, just working with where you are this morning. So without too much force, but you inhale and you exhale, and maybe you have some extra movement as you focus on your breath. Okay, let's release the arms, roll your shoulders back and down and come over onto all fours, stacking your knees underneath your hips, your wrists underneath your shoulders, and spreading your fingers beautifully wide as we move our spine through our cat-cow. The inhale, lifting the tailbone, lifting the gaze and dropping the belly, and the exhale, rounding the spine, sending the back of your body towards the ceiling as you tuck your chin towards your chest. Moving between these two postures, noticing how deep your breath is moving this morning and how easily your body is following the flow of your breath. And just move without judgment, just noticing where you are. Just doing a couple more of these gentle spine mobility postures, maybe even giving your hips a little bit of a wiggle if that feels good for you. So from our all fours posture, we're going to tuck our toes, lifting the hips up and backwards. Try and keep the hands where they are, but just move your feet around if you need to find your downward facing dog. And when we arrive here, just bending one knee as you lower the opposite heel towards the floor. Getting a little bit of a stretch down through the back of the legs. And as you're pushing into your hands, feeling that stretch down through the arms, into the top part of the back as well. Now, from our downward facing dog, we are going to shift our body weight forwards into a plank. So these hands stay exactly where they are. Drop your knees to the floor and then push your bottom back towards your heels. Coming into your variation of a child's pose, keeping your toes tucked, your arms and your fingers active as we inhale. We work our way back onto all fours and then into our downward facing dog. We're just going to flow through these few postures. One breath takes us into one pose and another breath leads us beautifully into the next posture. From your child's pose, take yourself back onto all fours, lifting your hips up and back. We arrive once more in downward facing dog. Let's just do this 2 more times. Finding that smoothness through your movement, through your breath. Taking it back, child's pose, beautiful stretch through the arms into the fingers. Back onto all fours, lifting up, downward facing dog. Last time here. Exhale, coming forward. Drop the knees. Take it back, child's pose. Last time into our downward facing dog. So beginning to bring a little bit of heat into our body this morning. Again, we can pedal out the feet if we want to. Now let's look forward towards the top of the mat. Take our right foot between our hands. And if it is quite early, you might want to take your hand behind your leg to give it a little bit of assistance towards the top of the mat. Let's keep our left hand to the earth, sweeping our right arm up towards the ceiling. Beautiful stretch. Exhale, taking that right hand down towards the earth. Turn on your back foot now. So the outer edge of your back foot is parallel with the back of your mat. Let's find this opening twist as we push into both feet evenly. Okay, so from here, let's use the strength in our legs and in our core to lift us into our warrior two position, just checking that both arms are roughly the same height and moving the feet around if we need to. Inhale, let's take that right arm up and behind, reversing our warrior. Inhale back through center, and then take your right forearm, resting it lightly towards your right thigh, extending that left arm overhead. So you've got this beautiful long line from the tips of those left fingers all the way down to the outer edge of your left foot. And you're not throwing all your weight onto your right leg. You're staying lifted, really rooting down through the soles of your feet. Inhale, let's take it back into our warrior. Doing this little sequence one more time, reversing your warrior. Moving through center, keeping your legs beautifully still as you move your upper body through these postures. Extended side angle, taking it back into your warrior, straightening your right leg and turning all 10 toes to face the long edge of your mat, releasing your hands towards your hips as you roll your shoulders back and down, hinging from your hips. We're going to find a forward fold. Just allowing your upper body to relax forward, maybe taking your hands onto your mat between your feet, or maybe holding onto your legs behind your calves if that feels a little bit easier. Tipping your weight slightly forward into your toes, but still having your heels fully connected towards the earth. Taking 2 or 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, finding some space within your body. Exhale, maybe moving into that space. Remember, we're not forcing the body to come into any shape that is going to be at a disadvantage for us. So be kind to yourself and allow your breath to guide your movement. From here, we're going to walk our hands around towards our right foot, step it back into plank, and then from our plank, take it into our downward facing dog, moving your feet if you need to. Looking forward towards the top of your mat, we're going to step our left foot forward. Now I can tell you, even before I begin any movement, this left leg is feeling a little tired this morning. So I'm going to give it a helping hand. Okay, so once our left foot is at the top of the mat, keep your right hand glued to the floor, lifting your left arm up, staying on the ball of your right foot. Let's come on to the opposite side, taking the left hand down. Now we turn on our back foot, flattening that foot to the earth as we reach our right arm up. Finding this twist in the opposite direction, pushing through both feet and your legs, using your core muscles, we bring ourselves into warrior two. Again, that little check over your back shoulder to make sure both arms are roughly the same height. And then we reverse our warrior on this side, taking our right hand behind us, left arm up and overhead. Inhale, come back through center, keeping our legs beautifully strong and steady in this position. Reaching your right arm over, extended side angle, finding that long line down the right hand side of the body. As we inhale, we bring ourselves back into warrior two. As we exhale, we find our reverse warrior. Keep moving, allow that breath to lead your movement. Let's take it over into our extended side angle one more time, really reaching through the fingertips as you root down through that right foot. Inhale. Warrior two, straightening your left leg, turning all 10 toes to face the long edge of your mat as you bring your hands to your hips, rolling your shoulders back and down. Move your feet around a little bit if you need to find your stability. As we inhale, we root down and we lengthen. As we exhale, we find our forward fold. Taking the hands down in between the feet, or maybe taking the hands behind the calves, or even resting on the ankles here. Gorgeous stretch for the back of the legs as we tip our weight slightly forward, feeling that length all the way down through the back of the legs. Begin to walk your hands around now towards your left foot. We're going to frame that foot, step it back into plank, drop the knees to the floor, and just find a little child's pose as we stretch forward through the arms and the fingertips. Working your way back onto your knees, we're just going to come into a seated position. So this time finding a cross-leg position, if that works for you. Maybe sitting yourself up on a cushion if that feels a little bit better. Roll your shoulders back and down. Let's reach our arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to take a little bend over towards the right-hand side. So just dropping your right hand towards the earth and reaching your left arm up and over. Make sure the shoulder stays away from the ear, maybe walking the fingertips out a little bit here as well. All about the stretch this morning, the lengthening, the stretching, the waking up of the body. Inhale, let's reach the arms up. Exhale, let's find that bend over towards the left. You might notice that one side feels a little tighter than the other. And if that's the case, just take a lovely deep breath in and use your exhale almost as a sigh to soften into this posture. As we inhale, we reach our arms up, finishing with a little twist. So taking your left hand towards your right knee and just placing your right hand behind you. Relax your shoulders, draw your shoulder blades together. You can use your hand as a little bit of leverage, if you would like, on your leg to draw you around towards the right-hand side, maybe turning to look over your right shoulder if that feels okay. We're going to stay low with our arms, traveling through center and just finding that gentle twist on the opposite side, squeezing out any tension, squeezing out any tightness through the muscles around the front and the back of the spine. Turning your gaze to look over your left shoulder. Bring yourself back to face the front. Take your hands to your heart. Give yourself a little bow of thanks for making the effort to come to your mat this morning. Have a great day, everyone, and remember to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. See you on the mat again very soon.